In the glitzy world of royalty, where crowns sparkle and appearances are everything, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has long been the golden standard of elegance. Or has she? Narinder Kaur's recent critique of Catherine's aging has set tongues wagging, and while the comments may have been cutting, they've struck a nerve. Let's face it, when you're a royal with access to the finest creams, serums, and stylists that money, and a kingdom, can buy, looking anything less than flawless is bound to raise eyebrows. Perhaps it's time for Catherine to swap her understated charm for a touch of high-maintenance glamour because, let's be honest, isn't that what the monarchy's PR machine is built? In the high-stakes world of royal optics, image matters. Catherine, Princess of Wales, with access to the best dermatologists, nutritionists, and wellness experts money can buy, has recently faced criticism for her visible signs of aging. Narinder Kaur's remarks, harsh as they may seem, pose a valid question: why does a woman with limitless resources look like she's barely holding it together, particularly when society expects royals to be paragons of physical perfection? If the roles were reversed and Meghan Markle were the one aging visibly under the pressures of public life, or, heaven forbid, chemotherapy, the backlash would have been unrelenting. Meghan, who has long been vilified for existing as a biracial woman in the royal sphere, would likely face headlines screaming about how she was letting herself go, failing to uphold royal standards, or worse, claims that her appearance was proof she wasn't fit for royal duty. But Catherine, the narrative is kinder, almost protective. Her visible aging is framed as a sign of her humanity, her strength, and her dedication to her royal duties, even amid health struggles. Meghan, on the other hand, has never been granted that grace. Even her pregnancy weight was scrutinized mercilessly, with commentators mocking her for not bouncing back fast enough. Imagine the vitriol she'd face if she dared to look less than flawless while battling a life-threatening illness. This stark contrast highlights the deep-rooted biases in public perception and media narratives. Catherine is allowed to age, to falter, and to appear worn because she represents the perfect image of royalty, white, British, and traditional. Meghan, by contrast, represents change, diversity, and modernity, qualities that seem to make her a lightning rod for criticism. Narinder Kaur's critique, while uncomfortable, raises an important question: why are we so willing to excuse one woman's imperfections while punishing another for simply existing? If Catherine's appearance is being lauded as a sign of resilience, then fairness demands that Meghan, and every other woman under constant scrutiny, be shown the same understanding. Perhaps it's time to question why society holds women, especially women of color, to impossible standards while excusing others for falling short. The issue isn't Catherine's aging or Meghan's hypothetical wrinkles, it's the glaring hypocrisy of a world that pretends to value women's strength while punishing them for showing signs of struggle. While Narinder Kaur might have a point about Catherine's aging. In a world where women are judged by their wrinkles before their wisdom, Narinder Kaur has dared to do what few would: shine a glaring spotlight on Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her audacity to age. After all, isn't the expectation for royal women to sip from some secret elixir of eternal youth? If Catherine, in her noble humility, hasn't yet unlocked the fountain of smooth skin and unblemished perfection, should we not ask why? Kaur's critique might resonate with a society obsessed with appearances. If Catherine's public role involves being a symbol of grace and strength, surely her aging, under the weight of chemotherapy, is a betrayal of our shallow ideals, right? After all, isn't surviving cancer also about preserving a glossy exterior while battling life-threatening illness? Kaur cleverly intertwines race and sexism into her argument, suggesting that if a person of color had aged in the same way as Catherine, the world might have been far less forgiving. It's a sharp commentary on double standards, implying that some women have the privilege to age gracefully while others are unfairly critiqued no matter their circumstances. The question Kaur raises may not be one of fairness but of audacity. Should royal women, with their limitless access to resources, still present themselves as human? Shouldn't they defy gravity, biology, and chemotherapy to remain immaculate? While critics slam Kaur's comments as cruel or insensitive, perhaps they miss the deeper message: public figures, especially women, are always under scrutiny. Whether it's their age, race, or gender, society leaves no stone unturned in tearing down the very people they exalt. Maybe Kaur's bold commentary is a reflection of that societal hypocrisy, a mirror to our collective obsession with perfection. So, is Narinder Kaur right? Perhaps yes about Catherine's aging, and certainly about how we judge women differently depending on their background. And if she had to throw a little shade to make her point, maybe that's just what it takes to wake us up to the truth. Catherine should embrace Narinder Kaur's critique and prioritize her appearance. Public figures, especially those in the royal spotlight, often serve as symbols of inspiration and aspiration. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has long been admired for her grace, poise, and seemingly effortless elegance. However, as Narinder Kaur pointed out, even the most adored royals aren't immune to scrutiny. While Kaur's critique of Catherine's aging may seem harsh, it carries an important message. Someone with Catherine's access to unlimited resources has every opportunity, and arguably the responsibility, to present herself at her best. As a senior royal, Catherine is not just an individual, she's an institution. Her image carries weight, influencing millions and representing the monarchy's relevance in the modern world. With that privilege comes the expectation to maintain a polished appearance that reflects her elevated position. Unlike most people, Catherine has access to world-class skincare, stylists, fitness experts, and wellness programs, tools that are out of reach for the average person. If these resources aren't being fully utilized, it raises a question: why not? The reality is that public perception matters, especially for someone in Catherine's role. The monarchy thrives on image, and the Princess of Wales is its most visible ambassador. Looking radiant and well-maintained doesn't diminish her humanity, instead, it reinforces her role as a symbol of strength, resilience, and modernity. Accepting Narinder Kaur's critique could inspire Catherine to double down on self-care, setting an example of how one can juggle immense responsibilities while maintaining a polished appearance. Imagine the message Catherine could send by showing that even during tough times, whether it's health struggles or the demands of royal life, taking care of oneself is not only possible but necessary. It's not about vanity, it's about demonstrating resilience and the importance of self-prioritization. Additionally, Catherine's critics might argue that if Meghan Markle were in her position and appeared similarly aged, the backlash would be merciless. Meghan, even at her most polished, has faced unrelenting criticism for her appearance and choices. By rising to the occasion and making the most of her privileges, Catherine could quiet those who accuse the monarchy of double standards, showing that she takes her role, and the expectations that come with it, seriously. Narinder Kaur's comments, though uncomfortable, present an opportunity for Catherine to reflect and reset. By prioritizing her appearance alongside her duties, she can reaffirm her position as a modern icon and silence critics who question her commitment to her role. Royals, after all, are not just people, they are symbols. Catherine's image is a part of her legacy, and there's no shame in ensuring it remains as flawless as the crown she represents. At the end of the day, Catherine's grace and poise have carried her through countless royal engagements, but even queens in waiting need a little upkeep to keep the critics at bay. If Narinder Kaur's comments have done anything, it's reminded us that in the age of HD cameras and relentless public scrutiny, looking the part isn't just optional, it's part of the job description. With her unparalleled access to resources and a legion of fans rooting for her, Catherine has every reason to embrace a little extra self-care. After all, if the crown must shine, why shouldn't she?